What up, my freaks? RuinousInsight here with part 25 of my Total Warhammer 3 modded Karl Franz campaign. So as we saw last time, we destroyed two menaces that have been plaguing the Empire. Reikland, who has been attacking our allies, and of course, the curse of the undead has been broken with the death, for the true death, I should say, of Vlad von Karstein. Wolfram Custerman is now free to probably deal with these dwarfs, mostly because they've taken territories that should rightfully belong to us. I mean, I guess Border Prince's territories, but they did take Grenstad before. And on top of that, they were currently fighting the Golden Order, so we should really make them pay for that. In addition to that, Karl is free to move where he needs to, and where he needs to remains to be seen. We're probably going to make a detour either way towards Azag, mostly because he's going to keep annoying us via the Karak-Kadrin pathway, if we don't, but otherwise we'll be heading north shortly. We may stop at Prague and actually destroy it in order to give it to Kislev. I'm not entirely sure. I mean, Kislev is our military ally at this point, and I'm not sure that the Ropsman clan is going to be all that useful. On the other hand, we could just leave them alone and allow them eventually to confederate, and instead hit Erengrad and take that for ourselves before starting on the forces of chaos up here. I mean, it's where Karl's ended up for now, and it's probably the best use of his main army. We have other armies to take care of other things, though we will probably want to eventually sail Karl over to Albion, and just to get the defeat trait of Be'lakor, because it's such a good defeat trait. Honestly, if we get Archaon and Be'lakor's defeat traits rather, I should say, that would be just great. Anyway, well, let's see what we gotta do this turn, shall we? I believe we did most of the moves last time. At the very least, all the heroes and such have moved. And I also want to point something out. Between the episodes, I did take a look at diplomacy a little bit, just in order to keep it off screen, as I deliberate with diplomacy a little bit too much. And I did get Karak Asgaraz basically for free from Durthu, from Argolon. I believe it was for a trade agreement. These things are pretty cheap because they're forest lookouts, and they're fairly easy to acquire, so I'd like to get this entire province, actually, eventually. Karak-Norn is at 4.5, so as soon as Durthu really wants a military alliance, and he probably will eventually, we'll swap him that plus a little bit of money for Karak-Norn, and then we can also trade him Massive Orcal for Grimhold, and then this entire province will be ours as soon as we confederate Wissenland. It's probably a better use than for us bothering with Massive Orcal, especially since it's bordering Durthu's territories anyway, and the fact that we already have Gristle Valley. Granted, we could have done that the other way around and given these guys Gristle Valley after we confederated these guys, but look at this. It has tusks, we got furs here as well, and that's two resources that could come in very handy, especially as the Empire's a little bit of a trade-focused faction to some degree. Also, we're making pretty good money now, so a few turns of this we should be able to build up considerably, and we are soon going to start building several new armies, namely our Sigmarite army as well as our Gunpowder army, which is going to come up as soon as we have the Foundry up and running. Should be a pretty fun one. Yeah, gotta plan that out, but definitely, well, basically every single unit with gunpowder. I mean, we're probably going to have to use Free Company again for our main line, maybe some armored Kossars to help them out a little bit, but otherwise it'll be all handgunners and probably outriders without grenade launchers, maybe some more war wagons, or possibly war sleds from Kislev, and tons of artillery. Maybe a couple of Grudge Rakers from Karazikarak. There's lots of fun stuff that we'll try out. Oh, and of course the Hawkland long rifles, which we now have access to, and we should be using some money on shortly. Anyway, that's the plan for the near future. Let's see what we can build, or what we need to build, I should say, and then proceed to the next turn. Waldenhof and Fort Oberstyre are both ready for upgrades, but neither one offers us a trade good, unfortunately. That said, we may still want to upgrade one of them, unless there's something more important. Griffin Wood, we are going to wait for you to go next turn because of the Council of Burgomeisters is not yet up. we do still have 1 turn of positive control. But honestly, we probably don't make enough money out of Zufbar to bother with this right now. Yeah, let's just let it. Let's just let that Vampiric Corruption drop before we switch that out. Gisero Gap and Axe Bypass are fine. Blackstone Post. We also have you, which would give us more iron, and Ziflin, which would give us more Cinnabar. Neither being too bad of an option. And oh, Karak Asgaraz. I guess we could build the fields here immediately, which would actually prevent us from upgrading any of these main territories. We could do the fields after then. Alright, let's do... you know what? These places could potentially be in danger still, so I think we'll do Fort Oberstyre and Waldenhof. In fact, Waldenhof is in more danger. So let's go Waldenhof first, and ask questions later. In fact, this Orky army might bypass Karak-Kadrin and go for us. I wouldn't be surprised if it did, because the AI loves that sort of thing. Anyway, I believe that's that. We can assign Karl a skill point. Ooh, this is an important skill point. We get Taste for Battle. Melee defense, melee attack, +5, and physical resistance 10 on Great Swords and Reiksguard, as well as later on our Demigryph Knights. Very nice. Basically all of Karl's units. Actually, speaking of Karl's units, we should probably give him a 3rd Imperial Foot, because they're just so cheap in his army. 78. They're 1/3 as expensive as they are in anybody else's army, so I feel like 2 is not enough. They're basically his signature unit, because he's all about the Reiksguard. Too bad that there's no hero for Karl. He should have Kurt Hellborg, the Reichsmarshal, to buff up his Reiksguard even further. But anyway, Garrison Lord not moved. We can skip that on assigned skill points. We'll do the further assigning later on. Building upgrade available? No. And hey, wait, we have a money left over, don't we? How much did that upgrade cost here? Yeah, we do have enough for this. I'm crazy. All right. I can barely count. Alrighty, and I believe now we're good. Let's end the turn, and then let's... Well, I guess we can't really get attacked anywhere, but there's still a Bellicor to hunt. So let's start with that. And Nakari, are you finally going to declare war on us? Yes, indeed you are. Alrighty, well... I guess Gregor is going to be defending these shores for quite a while yet. I was hoping to send him out to deal with some of those... What is this? Oh, an underway interception. Oh, poor Rickett. Well, we're not gonna bother fighting this. This is pathetic. We'll be seeing Ickett again before long, I'm sure, because we will be marching on Skavenblight eventually. Yeah, we barely even took damage there. Let's take the money. I'm actually pretty glad that happened, since last time we tried to hunt him down only for him to move around a river. And Bellicor is still raiding there, huh? Alright. I wonder if he'll run. We're gonna try to ambush forward towards him. If it doesn't get foiled, maybe we can hunt him down. And what do we have here? Whatever it is, we're not losing Imperial authority. Empire means empire. Yes, empire does mean empire. People die when they are killed. Alright, the Elector Counts have started discussions about new decrees that will reduce the amount of power they wield as a group across the whole empire, while also increasing the autonomy of each of their states. It is essentially a step towards political decentralization, with those who oppose the planned decrees even going as far as saying that it may be the beginning of the end of the great union of the empire. Putting your political efforts into preventing the decrees may be the best thing to do for the empire, but you must be tactful in how you proceed with addressing such a highly charged and important issue. We're going to lobby against the decrees. I think we're going to save on our cash right now, because we got a lot of stuff to upgrade, and new armies to fund relatively shortly. Lobby against the decrees for now. Alrighty, faction destroy Disciples of the Maw. Oh, well, that's a shame. As I recall, it's a pretty decent trait for killing Scrag. Plus, I always enjoy fighting him, because he is by far the creepiest character in the game. Mission aborted. Defeat Blorg. Alas, it looks like Blorg has fallen without our intervention. Eshin lower growth, and yeah, we cannot reach Bellicor right now. But that may change. Gregor, forward march, please. And go into ambush. Let's go somewhere like here. Is being this close to Castle Artois, does that mean that it'll get foiled by our allies? It's very possible, but I'm not entirely sure. I need to look into that. Let's just hope that Bellicor keeps raiding the place on the... Oh, Lewin's gonna hit him.
I will do anything for Sigmar.
You are not worthy.
True servant.
I'm
of
wondering,
Sigmar.
wait, if we go into March Stance now, I was thinking maybe if we go into March Stance we'd be able to go close enough to him.
Sigmar.
But it looks like Lewin will get him. But who knows, maybe he'll try to run this way. Would be nice. Those, by the looks of it, it ain't gonna happen. Durthu, where are you going, buddy? You're sailing up toward Albion. Can we tell you to fight Nikari? Are you fighting Nikari currently? Oh, yeah, we're allied, so yes you are. And ooh, I just saw that we have a bunch of quests, so let's get those up and running as well. Plenty of them, in fact. So we got Bellicor, and then these guys. I mean, I guess we'll do a mix. Let's do Vig Cracks on you, and oh. Accepting that one quest just made all the others go away, okay. Well, thank you, game. I don't appreciate it. Alrighty, well, Peter, you know where you're going, buddy. To the south towards Bilbali. We could set sail, and it is a shared sea, but I guess since Castle Carcassonne, or rather Carcassonne in general, is not our ally, we won't heal up, and we probably should while moving. So let's move this way.
We will.
Like so. Too bad we couldn't take advantage of the full health thing from the buff that we just had, but oh well. It's fine. Not a big deal at all. Alrighty, Karl. Now, you have a couple things that we may want you to do. First of all,
no other option.
you are going to lose one of your handgunners to Leonard Holtz here.
I am
Ooh, wait. If we want to get another Imperial Foot and Cyrus Nussbacher here, we need to get rid of both handgunners. And then we'd have two, the silver bullets plus the summoned handgunners. I guess we don't have, pistol core on Karl, and we probably never will. Not just for the bordermen who are already so strong without it. Alright, I guess we'll get rid of a couple of handgunners. We're not gonna delete them, they're too good. Or too useful, and too cheap. And too highly ranked. Alright, Karl. Let's do this. You, Leonard, are going to take both of these handgunners, like so. Then, while we're here, before I forget, let's get the basic wall up. Let's get the... we'll probably need control here. Let's do paved roads. Let's do a tap room. Let's do weaving house. And let's do... We could do a wizard's conclave here, increase the capacity for battle wizards further. Oh, in fact, wait. When is our wizard thing up? It's in 2 turns, yeah. We really need those wizards up and running.
The Empire.
We don't have to necessarily build this right now. We could also build another temple. We could build an Imperial Academy. Nah, it's probably not all that useful, at least not here. Yeah, I'm thinking Wizard Conclave this is a pretty good place for it, because the place will never generate a lot of cash. And extra hero capacity is always a good thing. And we don't have to get the 2nd level, we just keep the 1st level up and running. Yeah, let's go Wizard Conclave. Alrighty. We do need one in every army, and we need to steal tech after all. Anyway, Karl, you are going to recruit the Imperial Foot, and then we're going to pop Thyrus into this army. In fact, as you start moving. You can't reach Nagenhof right now, and oh. Are you going for Nagenhof? This guy's going for Nagenhof, isn't he? I wonder if he can actually reach it or not. He is in March stance. I guess we'll see. What's the fastest way here? We can probably March stance up this way as well if we wanted to. Would Thyrus be able to reach us? Yeah, just barely. Alright, Karl, you're going up to deal with Azag, so you are going to head out to Karak Raziak. So you're going to go here. You are going towards Nagenhof. Thyrus, you are going to join Karl as his personal warrior priest. And there we go.
Now,
Sigmar Reborn
by
should
the
probably
goddess.
have a warrior priest with him. And you should probably also have items around at some point, but we'll do that later. In fact, and we could give further buffs to you rather than have the Celestial Wizard constantly carry them. Because having the Celestial Wizard always having to hover overhead may not be a good thing. But either way, we can go for untap potential, or we can start going for improved scrying techniques right now. We will be getting this, mind you. And now, you know what, let's do untap potential first. Also, what is our magic at? Yeah, it's pretty
Bring me
good.
to my men.
It's pretty good, so we may as well keep making use of that. Alrighty, makes sense to me. What's up next? Recruiter, you don't need to do anything, but I think we do want to start moving you towards Altdorf. So let's move you here.
Leave no one behind.
And we should probably... No, we'll build that, but maybe not right now. You are good as you are. Who's up next? Wolfram Custerman. Alright, so there's two things to do here. First of all, we're going to summon the Sutzen's guns. Summon, you know what I mean. And we're going to trade them. Nud, you're going to swap these with Wolfram. That's a lot of mortars. Okay, so you don't need the crossbows then. Or else you have too much range. And then, frankly, you should build an Empire Knight as well. So, in fact, let's get rid of the crossbows altogether. Like so. Is this too many mortars? Maybe. But they're all going to get replaced by Sutzen's guns. This is going to be our Sutzen's gun army. And we can always trade a few mortars elsewhere. It makes it look like a bit of a weird army, but it'll help for the siege when we attack the dwarves. You are going to move out to friendly territory. 1 unit short.
Moving out.
But that's fine. We'll have a Nude create or recruit a knight, and then we'll have him trade it to you. He's got to recruit his own knights as well, anyway. And then Nude, you can move in march stance as well out this way. I guess we can keep the crossbows. We can trade them to Leonard Holtz, just like we can do with the remnants of this army. Just sort of cobble an army together. And just so that we don't have to waste money on recruiting. Wow. We could get these guys basically for free. I'm kind of tempted to do so right now, actually. Yeah, you know what? Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4 as a main line. Let's get a halberdier. Very nice. Alright, and we have crossbows here already. A couple huntsmen for anti-large to work together with the halberdiers. I do think, however, that we may want to... Let's check our witch hunters here. Monster Hunter, basic training, Monster Hunter. We don't need the Witch Hunter here. He needs to follow Karl around. But if we get a better Witch Hunter, we'll replace that one. Alrighty. Now, what other things can we do here? Marcus, the other Witch Hunter. Alright, turning into a bit of an admin episode. Sorry for those that don't like admin, but it does happen. It's the nature of the game, alas. Keep going. And keep going. Alright, so that's you two, and I believe that's it. Alright, not too much to do right now. But hey, there's more enemies down here, which I hope we'll get to before Orion or somebody steals those territories. Those have got to be ours. Now, public order. What did we do to you? Alright, so you're losing public order, but it's not a huge deal. You're losing public order, Castle Tempelhof. Ooh, let's upgrade you as well. And... minus 12. Alright, that's pretty significant. You're gonna need a tap room, aren't you? Especially with these debuffs. We can build one at Waldenhof, at least temporarily. We could also switch the Council Burgomeisters out to host Festag, but it'll not fix itself at the current rate. Alright, we'll take a look at that in a bit. Northern Grey Mountains, you're fine for now. What else is losing public order? You, Massive Orcal, but you're fine. Griffinwood, you're at -9, but we're building a tap room, which will fix the situation, or at least more or less. Especially if we host Festag here. And then lastly, Blackwater is, well, yeah, that's because of the vampiric corruption, so, and that's not surprising. And Hawkland, a little bit more unfortunate. Alright, well, we'll leave you as you are. But we'll probably have to still deal with that to some degree. We still have 3 turns of the Confederation, but once it's gone, the public order will fix itself. Alright, let's do Diplo, and then let's head into the next turn. Eastern Riverlord's almost ready for a non-aggression pact. And Lorelorn, finally. Been waiting for this one for a while. Are you willing to join any wars? Let's say Shadow Legion. No, you are most certainly not. Nakari, maybe? No. Alright, fine. Just give us a tiny amount of cash. Anybody else? You guys are ready for, nearly ready for some alliances, but otherwise nope. So let's go next turn, and let's try to find us a battle. Either Bellicor or maybe we start sailing over here, but the problem is this army was created to be defensive army. It's not really going to be adept at defeating actual proper enemy stacks. Not unless we swap out some units. It's the basicest of the basic. But anyway. Alright, Bellicor, please come this way. Come on. Come on. Oh, where are you? Where are you in the order? And what is this? A Pyrrhic victory. We are getting attacked at Waldenhof, which is a minor settlement battle. Alright, well. I'm certainly willing to fight that. Would have been... Yeah, I probably should have created a temporary lord to fight here, but... They don't have anything crazy. We got a reasonable chance here. Let's do it.
Agreed! There's so many of them!
Alrighty, hey, there are so many of them. At least our troops know what they're talking about. I like the fact that it's accurate because the enemy outnumbers us by more than twice the number. 4,000 orcs arrayed before the Imperial State troops. Let's see if we can defend. Now, I do like this map. I've defended it on various other occasions, and this is one of the better maps to defend against piles of infantry on. And because you can surround the key building here and not lose it. You have 3 choke points here and that you have to defend, though usually it only comes down to 2, i.e. this one, where most of our troops are currently concentrated, and then this one into the main portion of the settlement. We have a tier 4 tower built right in the center, and we are going to be separating our range units somewhat. 2 units of crossbowmen out here to essentially damage any units that walk by this road trying to get into our main settlement, and then obviously the rest of the units to try to see off the enemy. We may have to, or probably will have to, swap out some of those units as we go, because we don't know where the reinforcements are going to go, whether they'll go here or here. Also, I appreciate the fact that we're fighting on a vampire architecture location. These are always fun. But once again, I'm just a little bit biased. And is that a gate in the middle of the tower? By the looks of it. Alrighty, well, regardless, here come the enemies, and they'll be attacking us on this side first. They will, of course, be taking hits from our own towers. Both the splash damage and the regular variety. Let's see how much damage we can do here. Enemy is certainly moving up in a pretty blobby formation, which should mean that we do have at least a little bit of an advantage to our splash damage tower. Here come our crossbows, who are going to try to focus the enemy down, though there are a decent amount of shielded units here, so it won't be all that easy. And there we go, enemies moving in a column, and the Spider Riders ride ahead first together with the Forest Goblins, only to get stopped by our Spearmen, who are out front in front of the swords here, obviously to apply their greater defense against those Spider Riders, who are now getting gunned down by our handgunners. At the same time, over on the other side, we do have the enemy getting hit by our crossbows, not taking a crazy amount of damage, but 25% HP off a couple of units, including Biggins, is pretty worth it. And while the enemy Night Goblin archers have stopped, we'll simply focus those guys down with our archers. It looks like the enemy chariots, under focus from our 2 crossbows, have been destroyed by and large, and will be backing off, and our handgunners look like they've nearly killed off all of those Spider Riders. Together with the help of our range, of course. Or with the help of our spears, rather. And there we go, nice volley, and we continue to hold a second unit of handgunners moving in on top of this hill. Hopefully they can fire over the heads of their friends here? Let's find out. Enemy wizard spotted, and maybe, but I don't think it's here. It's probably in the center. And yes, it looks like our handgunners can indeed fire just overhead, even at the slight change in elevation. And gotta appreciate that. Man, imagine if you could have the bordermen as a part of a garrison and just absolutely wreck anything that moves here. But anyway, there we go. Looks like the Spider Riders are done, and this first wave, at the very least, is pretty much cleared. That said, the reinforcements have arrived, and it looks like they will be looping around this way instead of where the main enemies fought, and the enemy lord, the enemy wizard spotted, as one of our troops called out, is actually moving out this way. Not to worry, we do still have plenty of defenses here. We kept our pikes here together with a unit of swords rather than spears, because I felt like the spears would be better off here to not take as much damage from the enemy ranged units. Here the enemy hasn't really brought much range, so we don't really care about the pikes. Speaking of enemy range, it looks like one of them is getting wrecked by our crossbows. We do have a pretty decent position up here. And we'll probably continue firing on the enemy reinforcements as they arrive with the help of the mortars, who are moving into position specifically to bombard the enemies. Alrighty, and here comes some orc biggins who will be facing off against our pikes here down this little central thoroughfare. Alright, and those biggins are pretty big boys, but we'll see how effective they are shortly. Granted, it's going to take them quite the while to break through these lines of pikes, and hopefully by the time they do, we will have more reinforcements from the other side of the map once they clean up whatever other enemy units move in. Mortars should be dropping fire on the enemy blob now, who are trying to move in, but I think are getting a little bit stuck. They're getting bombarded both by the mortar and by our crossbows at the same time, and generally the unit that you're targeting with the mortar will be dancing around trying to escape this, so they're getting kind of bogged down. The units are backing off, or the front units are backing off, trying to dodge the mortar, while the others are trying to push forward, which just ain't working out for them. Imagine you could take like crowd crush damage if your units are too blobbed together. There we go, man. The mortar is doing a lot of work with regards to this blob, and it's going to keep doing so. Well, it looks like the enemy's finally managed to disentangle itself from that nonsense. But I'm sure we did plenty of damage to them while we did. It's still getting a little bit of a fight on this side, but still holding. And nonetheless, and in fact, while we have kept one of our unit of handgunners here and one unit of crossbows, the rest are now moving towards the main location defense. I just gotta see off these gabos and we'll be good. And of course we do also have to remember that any other enemy units, like nasty skulkers for example, could be skulking around in stock. And can obviously move around. Not much to say about this, just gotta hold ground for as long as we can while our ranged units and our towers together do the damage, but I sincerely doubt that those orcs are going to break through. There's those nasty skulkers I was talking about, sneaky infantry, gonna move around and hit us. The enemy lord has also been seen off now, the great shaman. He was focused down by our empire captain, who is right in the middle of our units, leading his men. And we were also focusing the enemy lord down with our handgunners as well. Alright, poke away at them, pikemen. We don't see a lot of use for you, and we probably won't see much use for you throughout the campaign, as you're a little bit too early of a unit and far too vulnerable to range fire. And you lack the armor piercing of the halberdiers. You might as well enjoy yourselves where you can. And Biggin's still not out of the picture. A little bit unfortunate that our units can't fire over the heads of our infantry to hit the Biggins, considering how tall the Biggins are. But oh well. Too bad we don't have any elevated platform for the handgunners to occupy. Over on this side, it looks like the enemy has shattered. They did summon some zombies via their army effect, I believe, which is an Azag thing. but the zombies simply get gunned down by the crossbows and the handgunners, and now we'll be able to move the rest of these units in to reinforce, minus the ones that stay to defend against the nasty skulkers. Balance of power is now finally in our favor, and the enemy's lost about half of its troops and about 2,000, though we have lost over 350 of our own, and the battle still remains fairly dangerous. Alrighty, enemy making some headway now, pushing back our pikes, and in fact have damaged at least one of the units pretty heavily. In fact, 1, 2, 3 of the units are nearly broken. Our Empire Captain remains strong, and one unit of pikes is still holding behind the badly damaged units, but it looks like those guys are indeed going to rout. Handgunners and crossbows, it's all you. You gotta do as much damage as you can before the rest of our line breaks, especially if the units from the other side of the defense can't make it here in time. Definitely don't want the enemy capturing our main points such that we lose the melee defense bonus as well as the tower. Pretty critical here. The mortar once again, however, doing work. Oh, for the love of bridge camera. Oh, sorry about the camera work in this one. It's quite annoying in these places. Not much I can do about it, unfortunately. Damn, that is some nice splash damage on that Empire Captain. Every sword strike sending a dozen gobos flying by the looks of it, though the enemy has now summoned some zombies in the midst of our defenders, which is starting to get a little bit dangerous. In fact, they're kind of surrounding our units here, and it looks like our units are starting to rout as well. Still, the mortar continues to drop splash damage, and so does our tower. The nasty skulkers over here are in pretty bad shape as well, having dropped down to half and are about to get hit in the back by our units of spears. Let's just see the mortar's damage out of curiosity. 553 kills. Very, very nice. Definitely paying for itself. Our crossbows, unfortunately, are basically out of ammunition, though unlike archers, they're pretty okay in terms of their armor and melee defense, so they can hold the line if push comes to shove, while the handgunners continue to fire, and so do our towers and mortars. That said, there's still a decent amount of enemies, or the decent amount of our own troops left for the enemies to break through, and our Empire Captain continues to fight up front. This turned out to be a pretty fun battle, I gotta say. Karl would have had too easy of a time with something like this. Like, the bordermen would have just ripped apart all of these infantry units without any kind of trouble. And there we go. It looks like that's that. The rest of the army shatters and are unable to break through the lines of our Imperial state troops. There we go. And by state troops, I don't mean the supply lines. I mean the, not the elector count state troops, but the regular state troops, obviously. Lovely. Alrighty. Zombies melt away and the enemy is done. There is no point in chasing because they're orcs and gobos, and they do run faster than us or at speed with us, and either way we don't have anybody with fire while moving or any cavalry. A close victory for us, and we certainly took some damage as we saw those 3 units of melee infantry did nearly break, but at the end of the day our splash damage and range came through and the enemy failed. Alrighty, fun little fight. Our state troops, 1,800 state troops I should say, holding out against 4,000 orcs, and a nice little bit of a change of pace from our current armies. Let's take the pardoned captives for the extra little bit of cash, and let me guess, that army is gonna stay there and start raiding. And that'll be annoying if that's the case. These guys want us to join the war against Telia or Telea. I don't think we're going to do that as of yet. We probably will attack them eventually, but now is not that time. And has Bellicor moved already? I take it he's moved, and we didn't get what we wanted out of that, but oh well. So what do we have here? Looks like Middenland and Wissenland are getting angry at each other. I guess we're gonna have to use some prestige in order to stop the war, but it'll give us a little bit of extra imperial authority, so that's always nice. Alright. Clan Moors has performed the Scheme of Doom. Hopefully they're too far from us. Bellicor is he in range? Please tell me he's in range. He is in range, but will he fight? He is also badly damaged. Hard to say. Oh, confederation between the slaves of Tsar and the Bone Rattlers. Well, isn't that annoying? Certainly gonna have to be something we have to deal with. Also, are you able to reach Alaric Ranulfson here? You are not. I wonder where he's going. Maybe to Steingart, but, yeah, so the problem with these darn dwarfen armies is that if we don't take them both out, they will hit Karadromar, which can't defend itself right now, at least not reasonably well. So we'll have to figure out a way to deal with that. In the meantime, Nude, you're going to go to Castle Drakenhof, and you're going to start recruiting your first knight, which will be an Empire Knight in order to trade to our friend Wolfram. And while we're here, let us get you. You're going to be a Knights Panther Lord, so honor the Panther, a Knights Panther, then Panther Purge. Panthers Purge, I should say. Upkeep reduction 20, and we'll start moving through Eminent Grandmaster, which will be another 10%. So altogether, a 30% cost reduction on those Knights Panthers should keep them nice and cheap. Let's just see how cheap we're looking at. Not quite complete, but 159, and very respectable. And identical for these guys. They're a little bit costly to recruit, so maybe we won't recruit them all right now. Let's just think about it and see how much money we have remaining. And on top of it, let's see if we can fight Bellicor now, shall we? You're going this way. Is this faster? I think this is faster. Yeah. Alright. Bellicor. Let's see if this is a possibility. Ooh, you have your holy decrees now. I do like the control and the growth and the construction cost reduction. If only you were a noble as well. It would be great to have a noble at rank 15. Too bad we can't decree or get them at rank 15. We could get holy decree on clean ones and immediately start buffing our armies up against various chaos forces. I mean, if he is staying here, he'll probably be fighting Nakari and Bellicor for quite a while. Actually, speaking of Nakari, they're building up their forces as well. So Bordelot will be in danger. Or possibly, if they bypass Bordelot, Aquitaine. Which is going to be a concern. So yeah, maybe you're going to be an anti-chaos lord. I mean, the other things, recruitment cost reduction, great, would be great on a recruiter, in fact. And charge bonus. This is also corruption. This is very useful generalist thing, though. We could reduce the upkeep or the cost of Bordelot. Ward save. I mean, it's only +4 attack when fighting chaos demons and stuff. It's honestly not that big of a deal. You know what, maybe we'll hold off on it for now. You have Rally. Do you have anybody that benefits from anything at high level? No, you do not. So it is, on the one hand, kind of pointless to get it, especially since we don't know what we're going to get. Pistol Corps and Emperor's Finest. We should probably try to get Stand Your Ground ASAP, though. Though, just in case you fight Bellicor, maybe for this one, let's get you hard to hit. If he attacks you, you're going to be in trouble. Warrior Priest? Let us get to you. You're confident, which I don't like, but we didn't have any choice, because he was the only one here. Let's get you Safeguard and Impassioned, I guess. Like so. And then lastly, the Empire Captain. You can have hard to hit as well. Maybe all of you together can smack Bellicor around. We shall see right now. Please be willing, Bellicor. It'll be nice for the Lord to get the defeat trade. Come on, come on. And no, he's gonna be too cowardly. Lewin will probably catch up to him. Damn, I was hoping that we could go into March stance and get a little bit closer to Kurun. So that if we were attacked by him, we'd draw out the garrison. But it looks like he's not going to attack. He's just going to run. He's probably going to go to Marienburg, actually. Oh, I don't like that. Yeah, it's not going to fall, but I still don't like that. And the problem would be killing Bellicor himself. These guys would have quite some trouble with him. I'm tempted to put... You know what?
We're born
We sent
to
Recruiter
hunt.
here to recruit. Let's put him back to Aelhart for a turn.
All right.
Because if
Base
Bellicor
camp
moves
for
towards
now.
Marienburg, we'll send him there instead. A little bit annoying, but what can you do? And also, let's build up these toll gates here while we're at it. And one more turn until the gunsmith's ready to go. Lovely. Alrighty, Karl, you are near to knob nails, rather, throat cruncher. But do we really need to make a detour? What'll happen is we get him, and then he'll move enough away that I think we won't be able to catch him. I think. Though on the other hand, we still have 38% movement. Could destroy the army for good, potentially. And hey, you didn't reach Nagenhof. Oh, well, that's just lovely. You're gonna go to Nagenhof then, and you're gonna get back to Ostermark. Return to Elector. Beautiful, and they're now at strength rank 9, as our fealty, rather, at 9. You can stay here, though, just in case you suddenly get attacked by Darzius here, and ooh. Okay, he can't take that. The garrison's actually quite strong. Got a little bit worried. Bellicor could also show up out of the rift, can't he? Lord or hero belonging to Bellicor and cannot be closed. Yeah, so this place does need to be permanently walled up, essentially. Rupert, hey, you're moving out this way. You're gonna follow Karl around. And you are gonna move to, let's say, Kappelberg first, or actually just bypass Kappelberg. Go through Griffinwood. You're gonna trade units with Leonard Holtz and with Nude to create a new army.
What?
Alright, Karl, just try to take this out.
Fight for our nation.
One turn isn't that big of a deal, and I'd really rather them not raid the territory and cause us more public order problems. And oh, right, they were just defeated, which means that they can't run. Alright, I'm glad I did this then. I'll resolve that. And we got a little bit of prestige, not too bad, and a little bit of money. Nice. Alright, enemy killed in battle, enemy killed in battle. I probably should have checked if we had a quest to do that. Argwalon ally missions... Arkling, eh? Let's go for Arkling. It's fairly decently likely that we'll be meeting that particular character. You, Peter, move out to Bilbali, and then hopefully you can colonize it for us next turn. I'm actually really hoping that Montanus actually falls here.
Impossible.
Would be swell, but it does have quite the garrison. These guys really need to get a proper second full stack out there in order to accomplish that, if they're still going to keep trying. You too, you got some elves to find, and then afterwards you have some other Wayward Empire territories to find. I wonder how well they're doing. I'm gonna be really curious to see. And I believe that's pretty much it as well. Alrighty, well from you are heading out this way, 1 unit short, mind you. We could get you the Tattersouls, which are going to be in this army anyway, until you get your other stuff. You don't need the Hawkland long rifles. Well, maybe it's not that you don't need them so much as that they're not going to go in your army. Alright, yeah, Tattersouls it is. Especially since you have the Emperor's Finest. And we'll get you some Sigmarite Disciples as well. Perhaps not now, but soonish. Do we need anything else here? Well, if he's gonna have a pile of mortars, then he might as well have Imperial Gunnery. And he's only gonna be holding on to the Knights of Caliban and the other Knights of War until he can build up a force with a Grand Master to properly make good use of them. For now, start moving out into Averland territory. Watch Alaric declare war on us, though. It would be interesting if it were to happen. But we'll see. I hope I didn't just jinx that. Next up, what do we have here? Zufbar, you are in Sigmarite Dogma. Let's switch you down to Council of Burgomeisters. You're still not collecting income, but there's a bunch of upgrades that we'll want to do. Probably buildings as well. Reikland, no, not you. Barrows of Aquila, nope. Castle Tempelhof, you're okay. Yeah, you're not gonna fall. Not unless there's a super elite stack. A Blackwater, Northern Grey Mountains, and Southern Grey Mountains. Alright, also, Durthu, is there any chance we could get that territory just out of curiosity? Carrick Norn. 4.5. What about... what was the other place? Grimhold. 4.5. Sometimes the Wood Elves are just willing to give up these territories because they're not super useful to them. So yeah, just like to periodically check on that. Alrighty, fine. I guess we are going to use money to upgrade the Blackstone Post. Like so, and then we'll upgrade Carrick Ziflin afterwards as well. We need Grungzin. These guys ain't giving it. Alrighty, and is it time for you guys to start recruiting anything? For our gunpowder army, for example. I mean, we could start building up some handgunners. And you know what? We do need the grenade launcher, well, not the grenade launchers, the regular outriders, but I think we'll wait and do handgunners first, just in case Be'lakor moves to Marienburg. Alright. Now at least I don't feel like you're not doing anything. Also, you do have the militiamen. It would be nice if Bernhard could get one as well, but I guess not right now. Alright, Diplo and then another end turn. And we're just about out of time here as well. Nothing interesting alas.
To war.
Skip outpost upgrade available Kislev, I assume. Karazakarek, actually. I know it's 4K, but we may want to do this. They have spread out a little bit, and there may be other stuff we want, like Grudge Rakers. Do we have access to Grudge Rakers here? Yeah, we do. Actually, we seem to have access to everything that they can build elsewhere. So maybe for now it's not necessary. Alright, fine. Well, let's not waste the money. We got our own territories to build up. Especially as a few of these are going to get very expensive very soon. Alrighty, outpost upgrade, skip. Outpost available, that would be Karakadrin, yes? We could build an outpost with them. Karakadrin. Though they're probably eventually just going to get confederated anyway. But who knows? They might survive. Now we're good. Unless we want to upgrade, or we can't upgrade, can we? At least not right now. Yeah, alright. End the turn. I just want to see what Be'lakor is going to do. Will we get another attack? Will we get another offer to confederate another faction? Well, I guess we currently have the Confederation debuff. Huh. Actually, can those offers come in when you currently have the Confederation debuff? Does it add to the Confederation debuff, or does it just reset it? Because if it just resets it, it would be great to actually do multiple of those at the same time. And Goromadni tribe, you're going to attack the Ice Court, but that's fine. We'll be moving north sooner rather than later. And, ooh, wow, they're traveling south now, aren't they? And what do we have here? Wolfenburg is under attack. We can send... I mean, I guess we can send a military force, mostly because while this costs money, you get the money back when you auto-resolve these. And we do still need a bunch of Imperial adjutants, so send a military force for now. And... oh, wow, okay, yeah. The enemy has absolutely no chance. I was like, oh, look, the enemy has a decent force, but if we had one army, yeah, but not for two. And yeah, there we go. We got all of our money back. And some free fealty. Creator for Bernhard, which is nice. And new plague among us. For Rugenheim. Well, don't really care about that. Hey, we got another one of these smugglers, which is great as well. Wound recovery time. And that's about it. Alrighty, well, with that, unfortunately, we are once again out of time, and I am going to call the episode. Next time, we do have the gunsmith available, so we will indeed be... Where are you going? Oh, did he die? I take it he died, and this is the remnants of his army. Alright. We'll have to figure out what we do with Gregor. Whether we sail up here to grab the islands, or whether we go southward to stave off a potential invasion from Nekari. But either way, we'll be moving with Peter to Bilbali and then these territories, and then on towards Skaven Blight, and starting to build our new armies, namely the Gunpowder Army and the Knights Panther as best we can. So stay tuned for all that. Don't forget to leave a like and comment. All glory to the algorithm. And thanks for watching.